Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving to support the broadcast on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, and those of you who are using the QR code or the link that are posted on Facebook and YouTube, we thank you all for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. I want to remind all of our listeners and viewers, we are Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We are RadioFreeNetwork.com Live. Go to RadioFreeNetwork.com. Click on radio. The Dropbox will appear. Click on the New Life link, and every broadcast will be available to you. We want you to know that we are available on platforms that are most convenient for you. So if you go to if you go to YouTube, Daily Divine Direction broadcast, or just type in Daily Divine Direction, you will find all of our broadcasts are archived in perpetuity, which means they'll be there as long as you desire to be encouraged, empowered, or inspired. And we want you to stay connected with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year by tuning into our internet radio station, Faith Empowerment Radio, WKAP, Faith Empowerment Radio, where we play music 24 hours a day that will do just that. It will encourage you, empower you, and inspire you. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day at WKAPfaith.com. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you feel that you are not getting what you need from your marriage. However, you are not certain what to do about it. And you said, since you feel there's no longer excitement in your marriage, you want to know if it's something you should you stay or should you go? Well, here's the answer to that. The very simple answer to that is, you have to understand that marriage is not about excitement. It's about, see, this is what society has done, and I'm going to break this down for all of our listeners and viewers, but I'm going to address your communication. Okay, you feel you're not getting what you need from your marriage. What is it that you think you need? And so as you go further along, you say you need excitement. Well, be careful what you ask for, because excitement could mean a lot of things. It could mean crisis. It could mean drama. It could mean instability. There's a lot of things that create excitement that you don't really need. See, you're talking about things that are going to inspire you. Well, you have to find things that inspire you. It's not your spouse's responsibility to find things to inspire you to be excited. It's your responsibility. Pardon me, to be inspired. Now, it's great to inspire one another to be the best version of ourselves that we can become. But the problem is society has made us believe that if we want excitement, it should look like television. That there's a reason that in the older days we called that the idiot box. Because what you're doing is being programmed, whether it's for marketing and advertising, you're being programmed to believe a specific way. Pardon me. You are being programmed to believe by society that excitement should include, I'll use an example. So I was reading an article yesterday, and they were saying couples should go on a date night twice a week. This is what they were saying. And then they said, but if you're not in a position to do that, I'm paraphrasing, but if you're not in a position to do that, then you should go on date night at least once a week. Well, that's good for your local businesses if you're going to go out and go to the movies or go out and out to dinner or that's good for them. But what is it really doing for you? Because once it's over, it's over. I mean, we all have to eat. And that's nice to go out and have a meal from time to time. It's nice to, spend that quality time talking about what you're doing to build a great quality of life, talking about the quality of life for your children. All that's good, but it should be at your discretion, not because that's what society's telling you to do. And they also said that couples should go on vacation every year, if not at least every other year. Well, sometimes a staycation is better than going on a vacation because it gives you the opportunity to be at home, relaxed, and do some things that you might not normally have the time to do around your own home. But I'm saying all of that to say, you can't allow society to dictate to you what you need in your marriage. And certainly, pardon me, not because of what they're telling you, should you decide that you're not getting excitement. Excitement, you have to be careful for. When we start asking God for things, we have to be mindful of what we're asking for. Because you got to know that excitement comes in a lot of forms, and it might not be a form in which you want. It might be in the form of crisis, drama, or instability. And none of those, they're all going to be exciting because you're going to be constantly moving, but none of those are going to be good for you. So we have to, first and foremost, you have to decide what is it that you want from your marriage and what all of us should want from our marriage is to build a great quality of life. I apparently need to take a sip of Earth's finest water, Fiji water, if you'll bear with me for one moment because I'm having some allergy drainage. And we'll get back to the basics. You have to decide what you want from your marriage. And what we all should want is to build a great quality of life. That's first and foremost. All that other stuff that society's been telling us and teaching us, we all like nice things. We all like to do things that have meaning. But you got to pick and choose your moments because the rest of the time has to be based on building a great quality of life. You got to pick and choose your moments of when you're going to celebrate what you've accomplished. You've got to pick and choose your moments of what you're going to do. And like I said, if you are going to decide to go out to dinner on Sunday or out to, we like to call it dinner or brunch after church on Sunday, and talk about what you're doing to build a better quality of life, and talk about the direction that the family is going, and talk about what you are observing about your children's quality of life. All that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to let society dictate to you the only way you can have a healthy marriage is to go out to dinner twice a week, or to go out on date night twice a week, or even once a week, and that you have to go on vacation at least once a year, or once a year, or at least every other year, you're letting society determine your happiness. And I'm going to elaborate more on this on Sunday. You don't want to miss the Sunday sermon because we're all being scammed. Can I just say that to you? And I'm going to show you in the scripture how that happens and the result of that. So we don't want to be deceived into believing that unless we go out on date night twice a week, we're not going to have a healthy marriage. We don't want to be deceived into believing that if we don't, do all of the things society has taught us to do, buying, roses on Valentine's Day and jewelry and chocolates and all of those things. And I know there's some of you, as my congregation laughs about when I make these types of comments, some of you are sitting there probably right now saying, Pastor is cheap and he doesn't want to do those things. No, that's not that's not the issue. The issue is that we can't allow society to deceive us into believing that that's the only way that you can have a healthy marriage. You do those things because you desire to do them. You don't wait on a special day to do them. To increase someone else's bottom line. You do the things you want to do because you enjoy a great quality of life, not because I'm going to celebrate Valentine's Day just because it's Valentine's Day. You do those things because you desire to do them. And when you build a great quality of life, all those things are encompassed. But they're not dictated by society. So we've got to do a better job of really rightly dividing the word of truth. What is really truth and profitable for our lives, not for someone else's bottom line. So we've got to make sure we're doing things for the right reason. And the right reason is to enjoy a great quality of life. But the only way to enjoy a great quality of life is to first build a great quality of life. And the simple answer is no, you shouldn't leave your marriage just because you're looking for some excitement, because I promise you, I can make you this promise according to the word of God, that will end in disaster unless you're being abused, or physically or emotionally abused, unless you are being placed in a situation that compromises your Christian principles and beliefs. You don't just leave a marriage looking for excitement, because the grass is not any greener on the other side of the fence. I used an analogy long ago in our church. I love horses. And, if you ever watch horses in a pasture grazing, you will often find that they will stick their head through the fence to eat the grass on the other side of the fence. And the reason is because in their mind, it may be different grass. It's grass, but it's something to eat. But they'll stick their head through the fence, just literally stick their neck through the fence just to eat the grass outside of the fence when there's a whole pasture full of grass. And it's the same grass. Sometimes you will find that the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. It's just astroturf. In other words, it's not even real grass. And I'm using that analogy to say, And turf will hurt. So I need you to know that you don't want to leave your marriage because you're looking for excitement, because someday you're going to find out that excitement was just an illusion. It really wasn't what you thought it was. And you certainly don't want it to become crisis, to become drama, or to become instability, because that is a problem. When you have no stability in your life, that becomes a serious problem. Be still and know that God is in control of all things. And know that you will have a better quality of life, a great quality of life, when you work to build a great quality of life. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you're not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you feel as though suddenly you have become stagnant in your career. You said you feel like you're not making progress. You know, I often hear this from people, our listeners and viewers who send in communications being concerned about where they are in their career, not making the progress that they desire to make. And my response to you is not going to be much different than what I've said to some other people, and that is progress takes time. Not only does progress take time, but progress also requires work. You are working. However, progress is a process. See, what we have to understand is, watch this. Progress, process. They both begin with producing. So that means we have to work. We have to work, and we have to work diligently. We have to work hard and smart. So, effective, efficient, and diligent. We have to work hard and smart. But we have to understand that no matter how hard we work, and no matter how smart we work, progress is going to take time. So it's interesting. I was having a conversation with a young man who is 16 years of age, and you know, his mother and I have talked to him about what it means to invest and save and invest, and he's on it. He's ready, and he's 16 years of age, and his mother's helping him to buy stock in the stock market. One of the conversations we had about this is that you've got to invest long term. It takes time. But as time goes by, you'll begin to make progress. And so there's a way to do that now. And save your money and invest. So his mother is helping him to purchase stock. And then as soon as he's 18, she's going to turn it over to him to invest on his own. Because now you can invest in the stock market. And he's starting out at the right age because, you know, the 7-year plan, the 21-year plan, the 7-year plan, the 14-year plan, the 21-year plan, 21, 28 years from now, 35 years from now, the stocks that he purchases now, he's going to be able to experience the appreciation of those stocks when he's much older. So we've got to think about it in those terms. So he had a conversation with me about an experience he had doing in a business class in high school, having a stock competition they were having. They each got $100,000 to invest, and how well he was doing until the pandemic came. And school changed. Even for us, we had to operate our Achievers Academy on Zoom. And I'm saying all of that to say, pardon me, he's getting an understanding at a very early age that saving and investing takes time. He's getting a good understanding at a very early age that you have to work. He's working part-time, saving his money. Well, he's working during the summer. But all of this lines up with the ability now to change the mindset, start thinking differently, start looking towards the future. Because right now he's a student, and then he'll go to college, and he'll be a student in college. And we talked about not getting caught up with, credit cards in college and how to manage credit and how, the higher the risk, the higher the rate. So there's going to be, variables based on the cost of money when you start, purchasing an automobile, purchasing a home. All of those are factors, financial factors that are going to be involved in making progress. But progress is a process. And it requires us to put in work to maximize the return on our investment. Because you don't want to just get a return on your investment. That's fine. You can buy stock today and 5 years from now sell it and make a profit if the market's right. But you're not maximizing the return on your investment. Because you're still going to have capital gains tax. You're still going to, look, you want to maximize every aspect of your life. So I used the financial example, just some brief points, but you want to maximize every aspect of your life. So you've got to know that progress is a process. It's going to take time to make the progress you desire. But the fact that you said you're not bored, you just feel stagnant. Well, sometimes in the process, we feel stagnant. But if we're working, we're really not stagnant, because we are working and you're working. So you got to know your progress has already been prepared, but it takes time to walk into it. Be patient. Just be patient. Patience in the process will result in progress. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by PorscheAmerica.com. If you're in the market for one of the finest automobiles, high performance automobiles ever manufactured, go to PorscheAmerica.com. You will have the opportunity to build out whatever type of Porsche you are interested in owning. One of the finest high performance automobiles ever manufactured. And Porsche of Delaware, if you're in our area, one of the sponsors of our annual Achievers Golf Tournament. If you're in the market and you're in our area, go to PorscheDelaware.com, PorscheDelaware.com. Ask to speak to Mike Didio, General Manager of Porsche of Delaware. He will make certain that you are taken care of, that you're shown the inventory that's available, and that you can order whatever type of Porsche you are interested in owning. And if you already own a Porsche, one of the finest high-performance automobiles ever manufactured, and you're just in need of service, contact Porsche of Delaware. Ask to speak to Mike Adams, Service Manager, Porsche of Delaware. He will make certain that you're taken care of, that an appointment is scheduled for you. They will drop off and deliver a loaner to your home or office, pick up your vehicle, and return it to you once it has been serviced. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you feel that your family and friends are having more success than you are having in life. And you said, however, you do not feel as though you can keep up with the success they are having. So this is not a competition. Let me first make that announcement. You're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, but you are trying to keep up with your family and friends. Everyone has their own purpose in life. This is not a competition between your family. See, here we go again. Society is taught about sibling rivalry. So this is not a competition between you and your siblings. This is not a competition between you and other family members. This is not a competition between you and your friends. Hopefully you're not trying to, well, listen. It appears that you're concerned about keeping up with them. And you've got to understand that it's not a competition. The only person you're competing with is yourself. Your inner self. Your inner self and your outer self. You're competing within, so the Bible says we war against ourselves internally because the spirit versus the flesh. But in life, you're warring with the inner person and the outer person. And that war looks like this. That competition, I'll use that instead of war. That competition looks like this. Am I being the best version of myself that I can possibly become to achieve the results that I desire? So your internal self should be competing with you daily. Your internal self should be saying, did I maximize the day? Did I maximize every hour of the day? Did I maximize every minute of the day? Did I use every minute of the day to get something accomplished that will result in what I desire to accomplish long term? So that inner competition should result in outer accomplishments. That's what I mean when I say that inner self, outer self. The outer self is what you present in the public. In other words, what you accomplish in society. So that should be the only competition. If your inner self is not becoming the best version of yourself that you can possibly become, and you're not maximizing every day, then the outer self is not going to get the results that you desire to accomplish to present in our society. And then we have to say to ourselves, once I've accomplished what I desire to accomplish, am I having an impact on society? And what am I doing to have an impact on society? We've got to think about these things. We've got to think on these things. We've got to say within ourselves, I'm not worried about what anybody else is doing. I'm not competing with anyone else. I'm only competing with myself. I'm competing to become every day to become a better version of myself. I'm competing every day to become the best version of myself. I'm competing throughout the day to maximize the day. Because you've got all these external forces against you maximizing your day. Because that's what the enemy is doing. He's trying to cause distractions, make you lose your focus, get you into a place where you're not producing the success that you desire to produce. So your only competition is you. Because nobody can be a better you than you. So you're only competing with yourself. Stop looking at what everyone else is doing, your family and your friends. Encourage them in what they're doing when they're doing the right things. Applaud their successes, celebrate their successes, and only compete with you to accomplish what you desire to accomplish and maximize every day that God gives you of life. 3D, today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you. May God give you peace that surpasses all understanding. Have a great day today. I look forward to being in your viewing